Welcome back to Crafty Hints. I'm Chantel. If you're new here, please leave a comment below and introduce yourself. If you're a subscriber, thank you so much for returning. And today we will be working on a little bit of neutral Valentines. So we're just about wrapping up our Valentines. I will do one more that's a little more colorful. But I used a Simply Blessed calendar. And I thought that this one's just a little bit neutral. It has the grays, the light pinks, and it says love never fails. So I took this palette heart sign from the Dollar Tree. These are both items from the Dollar Tree. And I want to reuse this string, so I'm just pushing it back through. Waste not, want not. Now, as you can see, this is a little bit too small for this sign. But with the spacing, we'll be able to make it fit perfectly. So I just took this to the edge and then we'll trace it. I really like this tool from the Dollar Tree. It has an edge on one side and a paper piercing on the other. I often use this with my Cricut as well. It's really helpful for weeding. So I just trace around that, and next I will just cut that out. It gives me the perfect markings there. You could definitely use a pencil or a pen or, even a mechanical pencil and not put the lead out and trace it with that. So lots of options to be able to trace it. That fit perfectly there, so we will just continue on tracing. So I'll take that straight side, scoot it over, and now I'll trace the next one. And then we'll just keep doing that. Scoot that edge over to the next plank and line it up so that we don't lose any of that cute print. Hopefully you and yours are staying safe out there and just being home and crafting. I just want to thank you though for visiting. If you're enjoying this video, I do hope that you'll like it and hopefully subscribe and see what other videos I have coming up. So we'll just continue. As you can see, I just continue with each of the planks here. And this is the last one. Now, to adhere this, you could definitely use Mod Podge. I like this Elmer's Professional Extra Strength Craft Glue. I believe I get it at Walmart most of the time, just in their craft area. It's just a little bit more expensive, but I've never had it lift on me. So even sticking it on the wood, it goes on nice and smooth and grabs it. You do see that I will have a little bit of space at the bottom. It isn't quite long enough, but I'm going to be covering that with something else. I do go back in and use a few scraps to just cover it up, but it really isn't necessary because I am going to use a little bit of flowers and some lamb's ear on it. And I did just get that little spot covered up with some scraps. All right, so we have it set. Now what I want to do is, we don't want it so pristine, so I took my sanding block, again from the Dollar Tree, and I just sand the edges off. That's going to get rid of any of the excess of the calendar for me. It's also going to make it look like I didn't just go and paste a calendar on top of this. We're going to rough it up a little bit, make it look just a little bit distressed. So I do go around all of the edges to get all the little bits off, and I go over the top of the print just a little bit as well. As I go in between the slats, it does. So next I'm going to take this lamb's ear. This is the one thing I did get at Walmart, is this lamb's ear. And I don't know if you're aware, but these just pull right off. The only bunch that I do end up cutting comes off of the very, very top. There's like a bunch of 3 that I cut apart. But I do like that about their lambs here, that you can just pull them off so that you don't really have to sit there and, cut all of the leaves. So you just get the placement, the way that makes you happy. This is your craft. And that's the amazing thing about DIYs, is making it to fit your home. So basically, I'm just going to move these around the very bottom. And I also got a few roses from the Dollar Tree. They have just a hint of that pink, just like the calendar did. Oh, and that little purple spatula that I just used is actually a face mask applicator found at the Dollar Tree in their cosmetics area. Gosh, I saw another crafter use it and thought it was a fabulous idea. So you might want to grab one. So anything with silicone is good for hot glue because the glue comes right off. As you can see, another crafty hint is my glue gun is on a silicone pot holder. I got that from the Dollar Tree, I believe. But any of the hot glue that drips on there, you can pull it off. It also, it doesn't bother it getting warm, so it is a great spot for my glue gun. Isn't it coming together nicely? Okay, I use the other end of this tool to just poke those holes back in. I pop my rope in. And there it is. Again, another easy DIY, right? And project 2. This is a little bit more neutral. So if you look at these 2 wood pieces, the family is one of their older wood pieces from a few months ago. And the XO, of course, is for Valentine's Day. And it's like they have veneer on top of the other MDF. So you do have a wood grain to it. I initially was just going to paint this one and the love, and I decided to do just a little bit different. So I took some antique wax. This one's by Craftsmart. And I also took a wet wipe. Now what this does is it puts it on and it wipes it off at the same time and gives it a nice finish. I really like it because it doesn't make it too dark. This is one of my favorite techniques with using the wax. So I just basically rub it over the whole sign. And there isn't any perfect technique. I kind of try to go with the grain of the wood, but as you can see, I kind of just go all around as well. So I would say try to go with the wood grain, but I didn't in all of it. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in. And I can't wait to get back to just some home decor. Are you guys excited about getting into maybe some farmhouse home decor? Please comment down in the box below and let me know what you'd like to see. Are you looking for home decor? Are you looking for, you're wanting to do something in your bathroom, your kitchen? What are you thinking? I'd love to get your input. Now, one thing I did here was I took the antique wax with a brush and I was just trying to make the edges just a little bit darker. I wanted those to stand out just a little bit. So I put it on there and I kind of patted it with the wet wipe as opposed to rubbing it as hard. But the brush again is going to put on a thicker coat. And it's pretty much as easy as that. I just thought that this would be a simple accent on my end table for Valentine's Day. I can add, a few light things next to it, maybe some soft pinks or whites, but it gives you just a bit of the feel of Valentine's Day. Are you decorating in traditional Valentine colors? All right, just about finished up here. Now, the other thing I did let you know is I will have one more Valentine video that will be some of the classic colors. I do have a couple areas of my home that will have the traditional pinks and whites and reds, and then I have some of my home that I like to have that farmhouse to it. So this will definitely fit in there. And that's it. The nice thing about these is they'll stand up on their end. And then we'll just be moving on to this love sign. Project 3. So with this one, I had decided that I was going to make this one white. So I thought the two would go well together. So of course we take off the string like we did on the other one. This isn't a project that I need that for. And I started out with this chip brush and I thought, okay, that'll give it kind of a distressed sort of look. I don't stick with it. It is not what I decided to do. You can see this is not beautiful. So I was trying to figure out what else I could do. And I haven't tried this before, but it definitely gives it a little bit of a whitewash look. I took the wet wipe and I just went into my Waverly chalk paint. That's the ivory that I've been using lately. And I'm just rubbing it in there. And as you saw in the picture earlier, it keeps that wood grain. So it doesn't look like I just painted the wood. And it doesn't absorb it the same as like that family wood. Family wood wood. Those others just kind of absorb the paint into it with the MDF. But with this little bit of wood layer on there, it has that grain that you'll be able to see through. So you can put it on as thick or as light as you want to. But it's really, just a really quick project. I think we need a few of those now and then, right? We like some of those involved DIYs, but a simple, quick DIY is kind of nice for home decor as well. So as you can see the wood grain through there. You could also take your sandpaper and go around the edges, but here they are. I do appreciate you watching and hope that you'll subscribe and like. And hey, hit the bell. It'll let you know when I'm having new videos. Thank you.